Yo, what up guys, it's dinner time here, and welcome to the ultimate guide to Fizz, the title trickster. Hope you guys are ready because this guy is serious amounts of fun. Let's take a quick look at how we use all of Fizz's abilities. Fizz's passive allows him to move through minions. This works similar to Ghost. We're going to be using this mainly to harass early on in lane. After harassing the enemy with your E or W, you can quickly retreat through your minions without any trouble at all. On top of this, he can also take reduced damage from all auto attacks, so being in the mid lane versus an AD carry can really turn out in your favour with this passive. Fizz's Q is the ability we're going to be leveling up second. We take our first point in this at level 3. Fizz's Q can be used as a gap closer early on, and later in the game transitions to a high burst ability. It also can be used to juke enemies quite effectively. When attempting to juke with this ability, you want the enemy as close to you as possible. When they're as close to you as you can get them, then use this ability to move through them and continue on to the direction where you came out. This will easily disorientate them and allow you to escape safely. The dash on this ability has a set distance, so if you're extremely close to an enemy, you will move through them and out the other side in front of them. Early game, the damage on this ability is very small, but after picking up a few key items, the damage goes insanely high. You can easily reach 1000 damage with a Lich Bane. Let's do some quick maths. It applies on-hit effects, so with a Sheen or a Lich Bane, you will apply your ability power or AD onto this ability. You'll also have a very nice scaling from your ability power, and you'll also do your auto attack damage. This is crazy ratios right here, so this is why we're going to be leveling it second. Fizz's W is a decent ability, but we'll be leveling this one last. You're going to take a point in this at level 2, so that we can effectively harass enemies, and it also helps out with last hitting. Fizz's W adds a dot effect to your auto attack. This increases the lower the enemy's HP. It also has an active effect, which applies a 50% heal debuff to the enemy. In addition, it also does more damage on your hits. Both of these scale with ability power and are great when you have no abilities left on cooldown. Fizz's E is easily his most powerful and most fun ability. It's also got the most amount of tricks to it. This is the ability we're going to be leveling up first. We'll also take this at level 1, because you want to be able to have this to kill enemies quickly and slow them down for first blood. When activating this ability, Fizz will hop onto his trident in the direction of your cursor. While on top of his trident for a short time, Fizz is invulnerable to all damage. Now, after you've hopped onto the spear, you have two options. You can either wait and let Fizz hop off the trident on his own. This will create a large, high damage splash which scales excellently with AP. It also slows all enemies around the area. The other alternative for this ability is to activate it again. Fizz will jump again, allowing him to go a greater distance in the direction of your cursor, but the radius is a lot smaller and very hard to hit. If you're chasing someone, I would actually highly recommend just you leaving the ability and letting it activate on its own, since the splash is generally long enough to get to the enemy. If you're running away, however, activate this twice. In addition, this ability can be used to hop over walls. Activating this ability twice will allow you to hop over walls much easier. A neat trick with this ability is activating it once, and then repetitively clicking in the direction you want to will actually move Fizz slightly towards that direction, so you can easily harass the enemy much more in lane, because you can actually move with the larger radius, which is extremely overpowered. Finally, Fizz's ultimate is Chum the Water. This ability has a ridiculous range on it. It's a skill shot type ultimate. Hitting a champion with this ability will mark them. Them and anyone around them will be knocked up by a giant shark. This does a lot of damage and scales 1 for 1 with ability power. The target you hit with your ultimate is also slowed immensely, allowing you to catch up with them. Note a couple things about this ability. It is not affected by minions, so you can shoot this through big minion waves without consequence. Also, if you miss this skill shot, you will just leave the radius on the ground where you clicked. If anyone runs over this radius, they'll pick up the ultimate and have the fish attack them. Now let's get into the items we're going to be building on Fizz. If you're a confident Fizz player and you're going bottom or mid lane, I would highly suggest picking up a Duran's Ring, since this will increase your damage output and give you the much needed mana to harass. If you're a new Fizz player or you're not feeling confident, definitely pick up boots and 3 healing potions. In addition, if you're going top, I'd also recommend grabbing these items. This will give you much longer lane sustainability. However, you will sacrifice a bit of your harass due to your low mana pool, but it will allow you to stick in there and get some more CS. On your first blue pill, you want to start building your Sheen. Get as many of the components as you can and spend the rest of your gold on healing potions, and try and stay in the lane for as long as you can without coming back. I've heard a lot of people picking up Catalyst on Fizz. However, I believe that he really needs that extra damage on his Q to really get a head start in game and start snowballing. Having the Sheen will add your attack damage onto your Q, and also has some nice ability power and that much needed mana which he needs in the start. So Sheen is definitely a good item and will help you build your Lich Bane faster. As soon as you can, you're going to be wanting to be picking up some health on Fizz. We're going to get this in the way of Ralai's Crystal Scepter. Pick up the Giant's Belt component as soon as you can. Then move on to the Blasting Wand and Amplifying Tome, and finally complete it. Our reasoning for picking up Ralai's over Rod of Ages is quite obvious. We pick up the slow, we get more health than a Rod of Ages, we also have more ability power, and there's no nasty ramp up time, so we can afford to pick this up later in game, after we get our burst DPS. Now that we've got our Ralai's, we can build our Sheen into Lich Bane. We can do this relatively quickly at a cost of only 1,750 odd. This will put your burst through the roof, and is an obvious choice for Fizz. After our Lich Bane, it's time to pump up our ability power. And to do that, we're going to be picking up the best ability power item, Rabadon's Death Cap. This will increase your burst so much you'll be able to one-shot the carries in just one combo. Using your Q will now hit 1000 odd. That's amazing damage. Now that we have our Rabadons, we can quickly burst down those carries and squishies. Now all we need is some survivability. And for that, we're going to be picking up a Guardian Angel for our 5th item. This is a fairly obvious choice, since we get that second chance magic resistant armor. For our 6th item, it's entirely up to you. For masteries on Fizz, I take 2307, picking up all the ability power amplifiers in offense, including tower damage and ignite specialization, also picking up some mana regen in utility. For my Fizz rune page, I pick up magic penetration reds, health per level yellows, ability power blues and quintessences, mainly focusing on high burst output at the start game with more health in the end game. Let's take a look at what Fizz's role is in team fights. Fizz is primarily an ability power assassin, so your job is to lock down an important member of their team and kill them quickly. They've initiated. Their Fizz is silly and has initiated into our whole team and is certain to death. He drops to my initiated E. Large radius, of course, since it's a team fight. We then drop down Singe with the help of my Q and Caitlyn's auto attacks. My ultimate's been tagged onto Garen and knocks all 3 of them up for massive damage. I'm going to take Garen out with my E for a double hop, landing it right on top of his head. Now it's only Shaco. Shaco tries to use his hallucinate, but it's too late for him. Ignite and my W just drop him down. Only one left now is Vlad. Foolishly, he's tried to come back in for Caitlyn. That's a bad idea, since our whole team's ready to bounce on him. I use my E and clean up the ace. Fizz is an extremely fast-paced ability power assassin, and requires quick thinking whether to use his double jump or his single jump on his E. Most times, single jump is the best option to hit as many people as you can, but as you could see twice in that video, I use double jump to just quickly nail someone getting away. Very nice ability to have in team fights. His W really adds up quick, so make sure you're tagging as many people as you can with that. Remember, hitting Q will deal large amounts of damage and also apply that W dot. Making sure to tag someone important with your ultimate is always a good idea. It can also slow them down enough so that their team running away and might leave them behind for your team to clean up easily. Using this on a carry can definitely win you a team fight. It is also possible to initiate on Fizz. Due to the large range on his ultimate, it's very easy to just chuck it in, have the team panic and scatter a little, and then be able to easily initiate and take them off one by one. If you've enjoyed this video guide, make sure you drop me a comment, hit that like button, chuck it on favorites, and subscribe to my channel if you want more. Thanks guys, really appreciate all of your views.